welcome back to another vlog. I hope you are well and you've had a really good week. So if you're new here, my name's Katrina, I'm a mum of two. So from my channel, you can expect obviously lots of food, lots of new recipes that I love to cook along with you. We are also in the midst of home renovation, so I'll be sharing a lot about that. And obviously my health and fitness journey. I'm really into my wellness, but I like to make wellness accessible. So if that sounds like a little bit of you, I'd love it if you stick around. Obviously watch the vlog, see what you think. I do release my videos every single Sunday and I'd love to have you stick around. So in this vlog, what are we doing? Obviously we're talking kitchen renovation plans. I'm sharing a amazing, delicious meal that I cooked on Friday night. Honestly, who needs a takeout on a Friday? This was absolutely delicious. Also talking through our kitchen renovation plans. I'm also taking you with me to do something that is very much outside my comfort zone, which is going back to do a dance class. I used to love dance and I haven't danced since in my 20s, so that's way over 20 years ago. And then also, I'm taking you along with me to a very much needed girls' night, which is in our PJs. Cannot wait for that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the vlog, and if you do, please remember to hit that like and subscribe.
So the kitchen saga continues, and after visiting the store Ren and having an amazing consultation with the lovely Danielle, we were led to a VR room, and honestly this blew my mind, let me tell you. So they give you this headset, VR headset, and honestly it was like being actually inside my renovated kitchen. It was controlled by like this handheld controller, and it allowed you to like move along the kitchen, test out and open up the doors and the drawer cupboards. Honestly, it was so weird. It was so surreal wearing that VR headset, but it's such a clever piece of technology. So if you just look in the VR, this is such amazing technology, and this is what he was seeing with the VR on the screen, not our actual kitchen. Oh look, that's really good. Pan around.
I know, that's what I'm doing.
So clever. Honestly, I'm amazed.
I'm so glad.
So clever.
It makes a big difference.
Massively.
I mentioned last week that I cancelled a dance class that I had scheduled to go to. I'm actually on my way to it right now. However, this isn't the Hills version. This is the commercial version, which I definitely think is going to be a bit more me, but I'm not going to judge. I will definitely give the Hills class a go, see how we get on. A bit nervous. This is out of my comfort zone. I haven't done a dance class in God knows how long. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this one's going to be like. Can't actually remember. I think this is, what are we going to be dancing to? I can't remember the name. I don't know if this is the 50 Cent one or if I done the 50 Cent one last week, but I'll let you know how I get on. It's exciting. So just finished the class. It was so good. Definitely harder to remember like the steps than it was when I was younger. Like when I was younger, I'd pick routines up so fast. But I really enjoyed it. It was really, really good fun. And I definitely feel like that is one way to get my cardio in that I actually like and enjoy. So we'll be going back. Definitely going to give the Hills class a try to see how I like it. But no, really enjoyed that. No, really good fun. Hey my lovelies, good morning. I hope you're okay. So this morning is a very exciting day. So obviously under this, because I've just washed my hair this morning, I decided last year that I wanted to have blonde highlights. And I thought about it and I thought about it, and I kept seeing all these pictures of curly blonde highlights, and I thought, oh, I want blonde highlights. Got them done. Loved them for the first couple of months, and then oh, I'm just so over it. I'm so over it. So I'm going to my friend's house this morning, who is a hairdresser, an actual proper hairdresser. She has got a salon at home. She also works in a salon. And we are going to go back to brown. We are thinking of going like mocha, espresso sort of colour, back to my brown roots, and I cannot wait. I'm so over the blonde. I think especially because it's winter as well, like definitely feel like darker tones work. And also after having like a colour analysis, which I've done via chat GPT by the way, and realising that I am an autumn, I want to stick with my colour tones. So that's what we're doing today. So in order to do that, I'm just doing a little bit of prep. I'm going to make up my coffee because after I've done the school run, I'm going to go straight there. So I want to make sure that everything is ready. So I'm going to make up my coffee to go. Last night I actually made some overnight oats, and I did actually film the process. But guess what? The video, for whatever reason, did not save, and I was absolutely gutted because I thought, do you know what? Having overnight oats is such a good thing, because if you're in a rush in the morning, if you are in a workplace where you don't have time or access to a kitchen to make breakfast, this is what they look like. So these ones, this combination is banana, peanut butter, chocolate protein powder. You can do so many different variations. I'm going to do a vanilla berry one today because it's absolutely delicious. But I just wanted to show you how I do it. So if you are someone who's struggling to have like a nutritious breakfast and you're automatically reaching for the cereal or, I don't know, a pastry or something that's not really setting you up for the day, this is one way that you can actually prep in advance. You can actually do a few. I'd say probably no more than 3. Keep them in the fridge, grab them in the morning on the way to work, job done. So this is how I do it. You want to get yourself a jar. You don't have to go and buy them. You could literally save them from like sauces or like food that you've had previously. I've got loads in that bottom cupboard over there. But these ones are mason jars that I actually picked up from Home Bargains, I believe. And we're going to want to start out, I'm going to get my scales out. I tend to go with 40 grams of oats to start with. So let's just show you what I do. Right, so I'm going to start off by measuring out. Keep them on the scales, Katrina. 40 grams of oats and putting them in my jar. Do you know what, even like a Tupperware tub would work if you don't have any glass jars. But I do like to use a nice glass jar. There we go, 40 grams. Put the lid on that. Okay, we can get rid of the scales now because that's the only measuring we're going to be doing. Then we're going to add a mixture of nuts and seeds. Now, again, these are optional, but this is how I like to make mine. So chia seeds are a great source of fibre. When they're soaked, obviously, in some sort of form of liquid, they do expand. You can make like chia puddings. Some people don't like the texture, but I love the texture, and they're so good for you. They are really good. If you're struggling to be regular, honestly, get some chia seeds in your diet. Make sure you have plenty of water. It will solve the problem straight away. I'm going to go in with some seeds. So I like to use some pumpkin seeds, which I'm adding now, which are absolutely delish. You can add whatever seeds or nuts that you like. I'm going to crush up some nuts. So I love walnuts. I'm going to crush up some walnuts. Walnuts work really well with berries. But yeah, I just like them in general. They're really good for your brain health. Massively. So I'm going to add some nuts. Okay, then I'm going to add my protein. Let me quickly get that out because I forgot to get it out. There we go. So I'm going to go in with some vanilla protein because vanilla and berries work really nice together. So I'm going to add my protein. So you need 2 scoops of protein. There we go, 2 scoops of protein. Then I'm going to add my mixed berries. Frozen berries, honestly, are so much cheaper to buy than regular berries. And when you buy frozen, because they're picked and then frozen straight away, they retain their freshness. And also, you know, they're not going to go off in your fridge if you don't eat them on time. They're great for smoothies or oats. I like to saute them down and make like a nice little compote for my Greek yogurt. They're just delicious and they're cheap. Like these are like a couple of quid from Aldi. So I've added my berries, and then we're literally just going to top up with some milk. You can use milk of your choice. You can use a plant-based milk. I'm saving my plant-based milk though because I need it for my coffee. But if you are plant-based and looking for a really good clean brand, this Plenish range is so good. It literally is just single ingredients. For example, the coconut milk has water, organic coconut milk, organic rice and sea salt, and that is it. a lot of these plant-based milks can add like extra oils or just like unnecessary ingredients that do not need to be in your milk. So what you're going to do now is, actually I'm going to add a little bit of honey to sweeten. You can add a little bit of honey, a little bit of maple syrup, so just a little squeeze. Get the dregs of that out. There we go. A little bit of honey to sweeten. Then I'm going to put the lid on, like so. Do it up. Shake it. Give it a good shake. And just make sure that everything is combined. Store it in the fridge overnight, or for at least a good few hours, and that will be it. Job done. There's your overnight oats. And like I said, you can make this up in advance. You can play around with different flavours and just see what you like. But yeah, give it a go and let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm on my way, but I need to go to the post office first. So, oh, my phone's ringing. Sorry, I had a phone call then. So yeah, I'm on my way to the post office first. But I thought we could have a little catch up with the kitchen saga. Honestly, who thought that planning a new kitchen would be so in-depth and cause just quite a lot of stress? So basically, this was our conundrum. We was going to rip everything out, start again. Our kitchen units were kind of like peeling. We'd only been there 4 years, so I was like, you know, let's just start afresh. However, we had a designer from Symphony come round. He looked at the couple of doors and he said, they shouldn't really be doing that. They do need replacing. So I thought, surely things like this have warranties. So I contacted Symphony. Obviously, our house builder was Taylor Wimpey. Contacted them. They put me in touch with Symphony, who then said, once they came out to inspect, that our doors were indeed faulty, and they would send a contractor out to replace all of our doors and end panels absolutely free. Now this obviously put me in a bit of a conundrum because I'm like, what to do? I do want a brand new kitchen. I had a kind of like a colour scheme in my head of like a pebble colour and then the walnut colour as a combination. Like the island was going to be walnut, a couple of the top wall units were going to be walnut, the rest was going to be in pebble. But then I thought, I don't really want to waste, like, it didn't sit right with me to rip out a practically brand new kitchen, especially if we were going to get all the door fronts replaced for free, all the end panels replaced for free. I personally love sage green. Sage green was my wedding colours, and I love the colour. I feel like I was just picking a different colour because I didn't want to do a brand new kitchen using the same colour, if you know what I mean. So it put us in a bit of a conundrum. We ummed and ahed about it. Symphony would only replace our doors like for like, so they wouldn't give us a kind of like a different colour. So that kind of put me in a bit of a conundrum, and I was like, what do we do? Do we start again, or do we work with what we've got? We have decided to work with what we've got. So I will show you the design that we're going to go for. We can still achieve a really lovely look, and actually the sage green goes really nice with the walnut. However, it's not as straightforward as that. We thought, right, we've nailed it. Let's get cracking. Let's get moving. It is not as simple as that, because the wall that separates the downstairs kitchen from the bathroom, first of all, we were told, oh no, it'll just be an internal wall. It's not going to be load bearing. I went over to Taylor Wimpey because they're still working on the final phase of our development. Spoke to someone there, and he was like, we haven't got the original plans because obviously you moved in like 4 years ago. However, on another site, that wall is a load bearing wall. So we were like, damn, because when something's load bearing, it means that it affects the whole structure of the house, effectively keeping the house upright. If you remove a load bearing wall without putting a proper steel beam in place, the whole house could come down. Like it is that deep, that extreme. So obviously we don't want to do that. But when we showed the video to our builder, because my husband drilled a hole in the wall, he was like, that's not load bearing. Someone who's had work done on a Gosford property, which is the 3-bed version of ours, they had a kitchen extension. Theirs wasn't load bearing. So now we need to go down the structural engineer route just to make sure that that wall isn't load bearing. If it is, we can still get the works done, but it's not as straightforward as just knocking down the wall. We need to put a steel beam in the wall to reinforce it, so obviously it stays up. And also, I feel like you also need to notify the proper authorities. I think you need to like notify the council or something like that. Also need to make sure it doesn't affect our NHIB warranty, which is the regulatory body of our build, just to make sure it doesn't, you know, affect our warranty on the house. So yeah, it is quite in depth, and I'm so eager just to start cracking on, honestly. Like, when me and my husband are both the same, when we get an idea in our head and we want to do something, we want to crack on. And now we've made the decision, we thought it was going to be so straightforward. So what's happening now is I've spoken to the guys at Symphony. I'm going to get the contractor to come in, replace the door front, so that's already done, and then we need to just find out what is happening with this wall. Pray for us. I thought I had it all figured out. We didn't. Fingers crossed it's not. Fingers crossed it's not, but I just need to find out. We need to find out one way or another now, and then hopefully get things moving. So I'm going to go to the post office, pay in some money, and then we're going to go to my friend's house to get our hair done and have a good old chat. And yeah, I can't wait to have my hair done now. I've literally just washed it this morning, let it air dry, and it just went wild. And now, yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm back and my hair is done and I absolutely love it. Oh my God, she literally got it spot on, bang on, exactly what I asked for. So I wanted brown, but I didn't want it too dark, and I didn't want it just one tone. I wanted it to be multi-tonal, and you can see there's still some light pieces coming through, but they haven't got that awful orangey sort of tone that I didn't want. And also it's not too dark, because I remember when I was younger, I dyed my hair black, and you think someone who's half black would be able to carry off a, you know, a dark black, and I looked like a ghost. It was awful. Awful. I had to wait for it to all grow out or wash out, I would say. But yeah, I love it. What do you think? I think she's done an amazing job. Really, really, really happy with it. I've been super excited to try this recipe. We're going to make gyros wrap kebabs, and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I need to try it. So you can actually do this with chicken, beef or lamb. I'm going to be doing it with beef today, and yeah, I'm really excited. They look so juicy, so yummy, and it's such an easy dinner, and also all the family love it. So let's get started. Let's get our ingredients together so we've got everything all lined up, and I'll show you exactly what you need. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need a big bowl to mix it in. I'm preheating my oven to 200 degrees. You're going to need a square lined baking tray that's pre-lined with baking paper. Now onto the actual ingredients, you're going to need some mince. Obviously the mince of choice that I'm using is beef, but you can use lamb, you can use chicken, completely down to your personal preference. You're going to need some flour, we're going to need some garlic granules, salt, pepper, paprika, parsley, cumin and harissa. So now we've got all our ingredients together. Let me show you what wraps I'm using. You're probably going to guess. So I'm using my Costa and Malika wraps. I've spoken about these wraps. I'll tell you what, they should sponsor me. I'm not paid to talk about these wraps, but I love them. And they are literally just wheat, water, extra virgin olive oil and salt. They're a fantastic ingredient, especially when you compare them to a lot of wraps out there on the market. Honestly, have a look at your wraps, and I bet you a lot of money that they are not as simple as that. And I have found some other wraps that are great, but they're not as versatile as the Cosy Malika ones, but I'll definitely share them with you guys at some point. So let's start, and take my rings off. Let's start mixing together our mince and our seasonings, and then get this in the oven. Start by getting a big bowl, because we want to be able to really get in there, and putting our mince in there. So I'm using 750 grams of mince. I'll just put this in the bin. 750 grams of mince. And let's start off. We're going to add a tablespoon of flour. And then basically it is a tablespoon pretty much of all of the spices that I've got out, aside from the salt. We're going to have quite a bit of salt actually. I'm going to use my pinching salt just because it's easier. So quite a bit of salt. I'll say about a tablespoon of salt. And then we're going to go in with our pepper. So this is probably about the equivalent of at least a teaspoon of pepper. Now I can't make this too spicy because my little boy is having this with us. So just so you know, you need to adjust to taste. You can use obviously fresh garlic, but this is Friday. It's after the school run and I don't want to be cooking in the kitchen for a long time. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic granules. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Let me just make sure I've got it. 1 second. Onion granules. I don't know what is it about onion granules, but they always seem to like pop together and don't want to come out of the jar. So literally, when I want to get it out, I just do this method. Just stir around in the jar for a little bit and get it out. Now you can actually grate fresh brown onion into this, but I'm not going to do that because again, my little boy's having this and if he sees onion pieces, he may not eat it. So I'm going to leave that out. So the equivalent to about a tablespoon, flat tablespoon of paprika. There we go. Harissa, I'm not going to add too much harissa because it can be spicy. And like I said, if it was me, I'd bung loads in, but my little boy's having this, so I don't want to have too much. So I'll say probably about a teaspoon because there is chili flakes in the harissa. So just so you're aware, this can be spicy. I'm going to add some cumin. There we go. Not too much again because again, cumin can be spicy. And then parsley, we're going to want quite a lot of parsley. So I'd say about two tablespoons. There we go. Right, so now we've got all our herbs, spices and flour. We're literally just going to mix all of this through and combine it all together so it's well mixed. Okay, so now all of those spices and all those herbs are well combined. We need to transfer this onto our lined baking tray. And we want to try and obviously get that traditional kofti-style layout. So I'm going to put all of this in. There we go. Maybe I didn't need a baking tray this big, but it's in there now. So we move. Set this aside. I'm just going to start to press this down to get it to go into that sort of kofti-style layout. Just going to start pushing it down. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just start to smooth this down into that sort of square shape. Or rectangle shape, I should say. As you can see, it's all pushed down now. But what we want to do is we want to go ahead and make those strips. So we just want to line this probably about like 3 centimeters thick. Going down like that. There we go. Push down like that. All the way down until you've got all of your koftis lined out. And then you want to kind of give it, I don't know if I've got what I need. I'll work this knife. We're just going to go across vertically, not so hard, but just kind of push down so there's like a griddle, that sort of griddle look. I'm just using the flat edge of my knife to do that. There we go. Perfect. And now, if you are using a high fat mince, like beef, like a high percentage of fat, this is 12%, or lamb, you don't need to do the step. But if you're going to use if you're using like chicken, for example, where it's not a lot of fat in the chicken mint, what I would do is I would brush over with a little bit of olive oil. But because this is 12% mint, beef mint, I don't need to do that because the natural fats from the mint will come through. I only do it if you're doing like chicken or turkey. So now what I'm going to do is you're going to pop this in the oven on the top shelf for about 15 to 18 minutes. So whilst that's in the oven, we're going to pop our chips into the air fryer. Now normally I do like to make homemade chips, but again, it's Friday night. I want quickness and I don't want to be sitting here peeling chili potatoes. So frozen chips that I like to use, remember they're not all created equal, are the M&S straight cut chips. To be honest, most straight cut chips you will find have simpler ingredients. So if you look at the back of the pack of this M&S ones, the ingredients are literally potatoes and oil. And let me just have a little look. So where's it gone? Yeah, it's 96% potato and then oil, and that's it. But if you were to look at other frozen chips, not mentioning any names, but a lot of brands, they have a lot more ingredients added. They add things like dextrose, which is like a form of sugar, and it's just not needed. So if you are someone who doesn't necessarily want to make their chips from scratch, using straight cut chips is a brilliant option. So if you do switch to like a straight cut chip with a simpler ingredients list, you might find that your children are like, oh, these don't taste as nice as like our McCain's, or for example. What I like to do is, because obviously don't forget you haven't got all those other ultra processed ingredients to give it that like umami feel, like that umami taste, like the sweet and the salty. So what I like to do is I like to spray it with some extra olive oil just to give it that extra crispness. And then I like to add my own seasonings that I know that are natural. So I love to add rosemary to my chips. Rosemary chips are just chef's kiss. And then sometimes I'll use like a simple all-purpose seasoning. So these have ingredients like salt, paprika, coriander, chili, onion, pepper, garlic, nutmeg, pimento. I love this brand. You don't have to use this brand. You could literally use salt, pepper, and that's it. But if you want to be a bit extra, a nice all-purpose seasoning, a little bit of rosemary, and it works lovely together. Okay, so now we need to make our lovely tzatziki sauce. So this one I do is the way that I've been doing it for ages, and it's lovely and simple, really easy. You just need some Greek yogurt, some garlic granules. You can use fresh, but I can't bothered. Some salt, a lemon, and some cucumber. So we're going to start off just by adding our Greek yogurt to a bowl. So obviously this is going to be making about 4 wraps. So I'm just probably about 3 heaped tablespoons. I'm one of these people, I do like to kind of taste as I go, just to make sure that the flavouring is for me. And then add some salt. Quite a bit of salt there. There we go. And then I'd say probably about a teaspoon of garlic granules. And then we want a squeeze of lemon. Squeeze of lemon. There we go. This is my go-to dressing. So sometimes I don't add the grated cucumber. I literally just do Greek yogurt, garlic, salt, pepper. Oh, pepper. And then that's literally it. Pepper iron. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to grate a little bit of on a fine grater, grate your cucumber. Not even a lot, just a little bit to obviously get that lovely tzatziki taste that we love. So I've got what, an inch piece, a bit more, 1.5 inch piece. Okay, there we go. And then let me just scrape off the inside to make sure that all goes in there, like that. Okay, let's give that a stir, like that. Give it a stir. we go, it's all combined. Let me just taste that. Yum. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Did I put the black pepper in? I can't remember. Add a little bit more just in case I didn't. Okay. And that is literally a real simple tzatziki. Such easy ingredients. Okay, so now I'm going to add my condiments. The veg that are basically is going to go into my gyros, and I find that tomato, red onion, cucumber works really well. So we're just going to start to slice these up. Obviously my little boy will not have red onion, so this will just be for probably just me, to be fair. Want some red onion, babe?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have some red onion, there we go. So slicing up some red onion thinly. And then obviously I'll do the same with the cucumber. Well, my little boy loves cucumber sticks, so I'll literally just, although he doesn't really like the skin. Anyone else's little boy a bit fussy when it comes to the skin on things? So I always tend to just slice off the, he loves cucumber, honestly. He would eat it until the cows come home. He loves cucumber sticks, loves carrot sticks. So honestly, every chance I get, because that's his favourite type of veg, I just add them to pretty much every single meal, because that way at least I know he's had a portion. And it's so important that we take the wins where we can. So I'm just going to literally slice up these into sticks for Theo, because he loves them. There we go. And then I'll slice up some tomatoes for me. I really should have got out the bigger chopping board. I don't know why I'm still trying to work on this little tiny one. And then slice up some tomato. So everything's coming along really nicely. Slice up the, I'm going to quickly give my little chips a shake just to make sure they're not burning. And then we'll check on our kebabs. So this is where everything is literally coming together now. So I'm with these Costa wraps. Some people were like, oh, I tried to eat them and they crumbled. You do need to heat them literally for a couple of seconds each side, just to release the olive oil, and then they'll go nice and soft. So I'm starting to warm up my wraps, and then I'm just gonna take the koftas out of the oven. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. That looks so delicious and so juicy. As you can see, look, you didn't need to add any oil, because obviously you've got that extra oil that's produced naturally because of the high fat content. So I'm going to now just slice down. Oh, that smells so good. So yummy. So it smells amazing, by the way. There we go. I'll just leave them to cool whilst I put everything together. That looks amazing. Let's flip over our wrap. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. The smell, they just look so juicy. I mean, I don't want to burn myself. But oh, they look so juicy. So juicy, so tender. I cannot wait to try these. Let's plate up. Oh my god, this smells so good. So we're going to first of all start with a little bit of our tzatziki. Yum, 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 yum. Then I'm going to add some of our red onion, just break all that up. Some red onion. I might actually add a little bit of cucumber, but I like it a little bit thinly cut, more finely. There we go. Theo's talking about Jet 2 holidays in the background. I'm like, I think that's wishful thinking, mate. I'd love a Jet 2 holiday right now. I'm gonna add some tomato in there. Then we are going to get a piece of our lamb, lamb. It's not lamb, although I'd love to make a lamb one. Oh, that is so delicious. Wait there, I don't want to burn myself, but look at that. Oh. Delicious. Then we're going to pop a couple of chips on our gyros. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Who needs a Friday night takeaway when you have this? Good morning, my lovelies. It is currently Saturday and we're having a bit of a chilled one today. Olivia stayed at her friend's last night. Honestly, the social lives of teenage girls, seriously, she's got a better social life than I have. It's just Theo and I today. Luke is working again. Honestly, like if you are the wife or you've got a husband or boyfriend or partner or someone in the landscape groundwork game, you know that the rain does take a toll. And unfortunately, because he runs his business and he's on a deadline to wrap up certain jobs, if he's rained off and he cannot work on certain days during the week, he then has to work the weekends to kind of like catch up, so it doesn't kind of push into another job. So he's at work today. Just Theo and I, we're having a bit of a chilled one during the day. I do need to pop into town, take a couple of things back. What else am I doing? I need to pop into Weeks, get the final plan that their designers have designed. And then this evening, I'm super excited. I'm seeing my girls and I'm so excited. It's been a while. It's so hard, like as you get into adult life, to try and fix your schedules so they all meet, so they're all open, so we can actually do things all together. So there might be days where maybe only 2 of us can do, or only 3 of us can do. So trying to get a day where all 4 of us, it works for all 4 of us, can sometimes be tricky. We like to make plans in advance. I think you have to be honest with you. But yeah, I cannot wait. They really fill my cup. Like they're a lovely bunch, and I'm super excited. We are actually having a pajama evening. How perfect does that sound? No one really wants to get dressed up in January. Well, I'm still not ready to start getting dressed up in January. So we are going to have a cosy night in our PJs, food. They'll be having alcohol, I don't drink. And just to catch up. And I literally feel, what are you up to, mate? He's up to something. Probably some sort of building crafty creation that he's going to do. So yeah, that's basically our Saturday. And yeah, can't wait for tonight. I'm so excited. But I'm just going to make myself a nice herbal tea because I'm super thirsty. I'm going to have a nice, I'm going to have apple and cinnamon this morning. Yeah, nice apple and cinnamon herbal tea. Lovely. So also, just to give you a bit of an update, have some positive news finally about this back wall. Honestly, this back wall has been the bane of my life. On and off, on and off, on and off. Our home builder was saying, without seeing our particular plans, it was load bearing. The builder was like, no, it's not load bearing. Other people were like, well, are you sure it's load bearing? Waiting for Taylor Wimpey to confirm was an absolute nightmare. So in the end, we were like, right, we need to just get a structural engineer to take a look at it. And yesterday, whoop, whoop, we finally got confirmation that it is not a load bearing wall. So that is like music to my ears. I mean, it would have been the end of the world, but if it was a load bearing wall, it would have cost, I don't know how much money to literally put a steel in, and then also added extra works to make sure we were following proper like building regulations so the wall's safe. But because it's not a load bearing wall, it means we can pretty much just knock it down without any kind of like, without it affecting the structure of the house. So that's music to my ears, honestly. I'm just like, thank the Lord. So anyway, I'm going to have my herbal tea, get ready, and then I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. Is anyone else just taking down their Christmas wreath? Oh my God, I thought a spider fell on me. I was about to have a freak out in like the end of January. Oh, there we go. I'm putting it away. It's going away. I really love this wreath. I like actually having a wreath up all year round, to be fair. I have like a spring one, I have an autumn one, this is the winter one. I feel like
There needs to be like an in-betweeny one, but yeah, I'm gonna put this away now. These reef bags are so good. Honestly, I feel like Home Bargains was bang on for their Christmas storage bags this year. They come in so handy. Theo, are you enjoying your overnight oats? He's getting to have chocolate pudding for breakfast, everyone. Wink, wink. He thinks he's like a very special getting to have his chocolate pudding for breakfast. This is what I mean, you've got to take the wins when you can, guys. And this is such a good breakfast. It really is. So this one is the banana. Theo! This is the one with the banana, peanut butter, chocolate protein, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and walnuts inside. But yeah, Theo's loving it, aren't you, babe? Is it tasty? What do you think of the chocolate pudding for breakfast, Theo? Nice? Nice? He's just discovered Tetris and like he's living his best life. Well, obviously it's not called Tetris, but it's a game version of Tetris. It actually fits not only my reef, but also my ball balls. Quick question. Has anybody still got their outside lights up? So I don't mean in terms of like, you know, decorative reindeers or anything like that, but the lights that go around the house, because our lights are still up. So ourselves and our neighbours, because we've got a semi-detached, done like a joint type thing, and there's a lot of lights outside. It took my husband and our next door neighbours like a good couple of hours to get it all up, and we've just kind of left it there. Is it a thing that we could leave it there until next year? The thing is, it's not, you can't really see it because the wire is like a dark green, I think, so you can't see it, doesn't stand out. But anyone else leave their outside house lights until like the next year?
Every single day.
Easter? What are you on about, mate? Talk about Christmas. But anyway, this is a decent size. I'm going to pack this away. Another job. I needed to get this done. I couldn't go into February with the Christmas wreath still up. So we're just literally getting ready to leave to go out now. This is the fit for today. Love these joggers. These were a Christmas present from my husband. I love them. This is green's my favourite colour. Love my hair. I still can't keep looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, the dark's back. I'm so happy with it. So yeah, literally going to leave now to run some errands in town, and then yeah, see what else we get up to.
Mum.
Yes. No, we're not going there. We're going to go here first, and then we're going to go to Lidl afterwards, darling. Oh, I know. You can do the mini trolley afterwards, okay? I promise. Promise. Let's go in for a meeting first. Yeah, I'm sure they do. So I have to say, I do prefer the Wren design as to the Wix design. And actually, the Wren design was cheaper by a few £1,000s. So we were quoted £11,500 from Wren and £13,000 from Wix. But also, we've got all of our original appliances. We're only replacing the extractor fan. And also, Wren's units are fully built, whereas Wix's are flat pack. So it was quite surprising that Wren were actually cheaper than Wix.
I can't believe there's one more left.
Oh, you wanted to do your trolley for ages, haven't you? Right, what do we need? We're running out of bananas. Go and get some bananas, Theo. Up here. Okay, let's get some bananas. Wait there. Let Mummy pick some nice bananas, please, because we don't want them to go These will end up going off really quickly, so we want ones that they look perfect. What else did we need?
Oranges.
No, we don't need oranges. We've got oranges. Don't need apples. We've got loads of apples. We got apples the other day, didn't we? We want to get some chicken breast. Let's go all the way down to the end. So, this is my outfit for tonight. Honestly, I cannot wait to get into my pyjamas. Like, it should be socially acceptable for all kinds of nights out. Actually, maybe not all, because occasionally it is nice to get dressed up. But honestly, I cannot wait to get in to these cosy clothes. I'm just going to start getting ready now. Might as well take all my makeup off while I'm at it. Although I haven't really got much on. But yeah, I'm going to do my skincare so I can literally finish from my friend's house and then come straight home and literally rock into bed. Amazing. So we decided to get a kebab, and I tell you what, it was absolutely delicious. Probably the best kebab I've ever had. So we had such a fun night. I feel like girls' nights definitely should be something that everyone makes time for, no matter how old you get. Like, these ladies literally fill my cup so much. And we always have the best time when we're together. We didn't stop talking, and the time just goes so quickly. It was my friend's Mel's 50th birthday, which she's been well and truly milking for the past 2 to 3 years now. So we let her know her main birthday present from us was a little girls' weekend away in a cosy little cottage right on a farm, which is definitely up her street, that we cannot wait for. So that will be happening in the end of March. And obviously things got a little wild, as they always do, but if you can't be yourself around your besties and literally just let loose and be completely unhinged and silly, then I don't know when you can be. I don't actually drink, so I ended up driving home at almost 1 o'clock that evening. The rest of the girls stayed over, but the late night was so worth it. We had so much fun.
So I'm going to wrap that up here, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. If you have, please remember to give me a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future vlogs. I do release vlogs every single Sunday, so I will see you again this time next week. Bye!